Hi, welcome to Inge's Knitting Lab, the knitting podcast where stitches meet stories and where designs come to life. In this episode, I will share with you an update of the Form and Fit European shoulder design releases, and I will give you a sneak peek of my work in progress of the new design in the making. So this is based on the compound raglan construction. So we are moving on from the European shoulder construction to the compound raglan. A sneak peek today, but as usual in upcoming episodes, I will bring you behind the scenes how to make and tailor this design to fit every body size and shape. Well, if you've been here before, you know the drill. We will get a bit nerdy. But I'd also love your help. I have been exploring how to bring my designs to life for more knitters, and you probably noticed that this new Form and Fit design pattern concept is quite different. So how to do it in the best way? What would be most helpful for you? I would love to hear your input and ideas. And last but not least, the Lacy Cable Tee KAL has now wrapped up. So today I will announce the prize winners. So grab your project, get settled, and let's knit and chat together. Let's start with the Form and Fit design. Until now, 2 patterns have been published on Ravelry, and it's the male editions, the male cardigan and sweater. And go look for Form and Fit tree trunk cardigan or sweater. You will notice that there is a male sweater, tree trunk sweater already on Ravelry. However, note that this is another construction type. It's not with a fitted set-in sleeve with the asymmetrical design. I have brought some examples for you to see. You will also find a lot of shorts with models wearing the different designs here, and I have also a lot of photos on Instagram. So I'll bring a few here and show you some of the ones I've made. So if you've not been on my channel before, the characteristic with this design is that I get your measurements and make your unique pattern for you to tailor your garment. So besides the pattern concept here, it is a set-in sleeve, asymmetrical made because the body is not the same front and back. And we have the 3x1 ribbing. It's a classic fitted design, and 1x1 ribbing edges. And to frame the edges, I use this lateral braid here. And then we play and make statements with the buttons. You can hear that in upcoming tutorials when I talk about the button band, because the young men here, they tell that you make a statement when you wear a cardigan and depending on the buttons you choose. And that's quite true, because the design can totally change depending on the button you use, how many, and so on and so on. But Jeppe here, he chose this natural white, non-superwash, non-dyed wool and untreated wooden buttons. So this was one design. And Matthias, he would like this chocolatey copper color, but framed here. So he would like to play with the framing of the lateral braid here in white. And also he would love these mild effect buttons, horn buttons, but this is actually plastic, so it's imitated horn. And I actually looked for the real ones, but I couldn't find them. And when using these, I mean, they are very light, so they are not kind of distorting the fabric in any way, so that's nice. A lot of knitting tutorials are accompanying the pattern here to get all the details right about this cardigan, where you actually knit top down in the round using the steek method to cut open the cardigan. And I take much detail into making the wrong side just as nice as the right side of the project, and when fastening the steek here. So a lot of new techniques I would perhaps expect to learn to do this one, and that's what I find so fun myself. So, well, I have a lot, and I have lost count of how many I've made already. Plus 10, I would say. And it's still fun to make all these. I have been wondering, could you make 20 or 30 of these? Yeah, well, I can, because each piece is unique because of the unique measurements, and I have to do different things to sketch and make the specific pattern, just as I will do for you. So I did this one for my husband. It's also the chocolatey brown, and we changed the very big buttons to wooden buttons with kind of burnt wood here to kind of blend in with a nice chocolatey color. So the sweaters are more simple to make, of course, because we don't need the button band. Once we have done all the tricky stuff here on the yoke part, it's just knitting with the body part, of course, depending on the tailoring you would like on your body. Matthias here, he has applied hip shaping to go along with his V-like shape, and you will see on the sweaters I still use this lateral braid to frame the ribbing. And actually Jeppe, when he chose his color and his sweater, he would like the neckline to be a bit more deep, so I did this for him, but in the pattern it is not so deep as this one because we would like to hide the t-shirt. Yeah, so what next? Well, I'm working on the female version of the pattern, so you will see here I'm scratching my notes when I print out kind of the final one to see if everything is all right. And Antonella, she has been modeling this female cardigan, so this is the one next in line to be published. And actually she had two, because we wanted to see and play with the golden ratio. You have probably seen it in my other videos. So what is the effect of a long versus a short cardigan on the look of your body, or which kind of clothes would you wear differently when having a long or short, or would you? So we have been playing along, and she has this very lovely golden color, yellow, very warm light, very warm and lovely color. So a long one and a short one. And she also chose these mild horn-like buttons on her cardigan, however classic, with the same color here. So this is next in line, and then also the female sweater. You probably noticed that this design is priced a bit higher than my usual designs on Ravelry, and let me tell you why. It's because this is not just a pattern download from Ravelry where you are left alone to do the knitting. This is a unique pattern made just for you. I spent extra time based on your measurements to sketch and tailor and shape your pattern so it fits you beautifully. And I'll be there in your corner when you start knitting. I will be there helping and supporting you along the way. So it's kind of like a more personal process where you can consider me as your knitting buddy. It's almost like a masterclass in garment design, where you not only create a garment that is truly yours, but you also learn skills and techniques which you can carry on to your future knits to make them fit even better. So in this way, it's much more than just a pattern. It's a guided experience, it's a learning journey, and you get a garment that is truly yours, fitting beautifully, that you can be proud of. So here is my question for you. Is Ravelry the best place for such kind of a concept, or what do you think? I have been challenged by some of my testers having very great ideas on how to bring this design into the world, and ideas such as online courses or master classes, classroom training, on the online training or on the site training. This is of course a bit hard, except travel is involved. It's easier in Denmark, but I'm kind of a bit in the dark here, because this is new to me. So I would really again appreciate your help, experienced knitters out there who have tried a lot of things which worked very well when you want to learn new techniques, which is kind of a meta competency. Yes, you make the specific piece, but you gain so much knowledge which you can bring onto your future knit. So what do you think I should do? Because if you log on to Ravelry and think, well, I would like this design, but wow, it's much higher in price than the other ones. How come this is nothing for me? And you don't maybe see what is all included in this concept. So yeah, please leave a comment or write me, or you can chat me on Instagram, wherever. I would really appreciate your help, so that I can start thinking of how to do things in new ways, also when it comes to promoting a pattern or meeting you knitters to do all the very intriguing fitted designs here. So what's next? Well, I have a lot of cardigans and sweaters to do yet for other models, to see different shapes and sizes. And maybe you think that it is overweight people like me that need the most fitting, but I think this is a misconception, because very slim people also may have fitting issues, so to speak, where you are not the same standard size all over the upper body. So you may need some tips and tricks on how to tailor exactly to you, so you won't have either baggy shoulders or tight busts, or the other way around. Let's have a small look at what we do in the pattern, because it's more like a project we do together, because I get your measurements, you get the pattern, your unique pattern, and you start working your project. And once you have made the yoke part, you will steam it or water block it, and we will have a meet to have a look at the fit and see that everything is fine before we move on. Right now I'm working on this cardigan for Marine, another one of my models, and we have reached milestone 1 here of the project in the pattern concept. Once the body is joined here at the underarm, and I worked a couple of 1 or 2 inches, and I've also picked up stitches for one of the sleeves, so that we can see the fit of the ease at the underarm and the fit in general of the yoke. So you can look here at the pictures of Marine while fitting, and let's hear her thoughts about a tailored
Usually
garment.
when I buy clothes, they don't always fit, because my shoulders are a bit broad because of the climbing, and also I'm quite thin. So a tailored garment is amazing because it actually fits me.
She will spice it up with a lot of colors, like the cardigan made for her child. But more about this later, because there will also be a version for children. But this will not be, this will be made standard, so a usual pattern concept. I have more work in progress. I have this cardigan to be ready for another model, Natasha, and this is also a non-dyed true wool color, non-superwash here. So I have some more rows of the yoke and to join at the underarm before we can do a fitting session. And I usually have more whips going on at the same time because I tend to, have projects at different stages so that I'm at the same place as different testers and I can help along. Yeah, it's not the main reason, but I simply have a lot of projects and I like to do them in parallel. So I won't finish one and then start another one, because then I can also, while designing, improve the techniques of the specific places of the design. So I also have a sweater which has reached the same milestone here for Chiara, an Italian girl, and we are ready to do the fitting session on this one. So a lot is going on. This is not all the whips which are going on. I also have other male cardigans and also children ones. But when I make the pattern for children, toddlers, it will not be an asymmetrical set-in sleeve. It will not be uniquely tailored to body sizes, because I kind of feel like it doesn't make sense for children. Their bodies are not matured like over the years like ours, so they are kind of more standard sizes to fit into a usual pattern, so to speak. But of course, if you have a child with special needs of the design, don't hesitate to call me. Yes, I think we are ready to move on to the compound raglan now. Here's the first pilot run of the compound raglan piece. And I'm not wearing it myself because this is not for me. It is for the mother-in-law of my son. And you will see her modeling the piece here in Tivoli of Copenhagen. We had a wonderful visit. There was a flower festival in Tivoli. It's always very lovely in Tivoli with all their gardens and flowers, but it was spiked up a bit, I would say, this week. But enough about Tivoli, back to the design. So what's it all about? Well, two things. First of all, I would like to explore the compound raglan design, and I will tell you why. And secondly, because I wanted now to make a challenge for myself. So could I make a pattern where you start top down and everybody follows kind of the same pattern, besides the grading of course, and then you can pick up stitches here and make whichever neckline you want, besides the V-neck of course, but other types, both deep, high, whatever. So this is my challenge for this. So two aspects of this design, the neckline and the compound raglan. So why even bother talking about compound raglan, and what is a compound raglan? Yes, we will of course dig into all these technical details in upcoming episodes, so just in short here. Let's start with the original raglan construction, which is a 45-degree angle dividing body and sleeves front and back, and you increase with the same frequency on the body and the sleeve. And this works perfectly for the midsection of sizes. However, it may give you some issues in the bigger sizes and the smallest sizes. And let me tell you why. Because when you do these increases here, you do them to reach the full bust circumference here. And when doing so, and doing the same way the increases on the sleeves get far too wide. So we have to do some modifications for bigger sizes, and the smaller sizes have their own issues, but we will get into it in upcoming episodes. So what you do is you kind of like merge more construction types in one. So you create this typical S curve here. So you start doing more decreases at the body part, and then you do more increases on the sleeves and not so much on the body part, and then you start the curve here increasing both the body and sleeves. yeah, it depends on the grading, right? So we will get into it. But if one keyword should be remembered, it's the S curve here. So you do like this to get a nice fit. And when looking here at the mother-in-law of my son, I think we succeeded fairly well in catching the right proportions for her bust size. She's a size large. So again, I made this one in 20 stitches. So maybe I will do it in 20 stitches, maybe, no, I interrupt myself. When I learn new things, it's much easier to learn in a bigger gauge because it goes much faster, and then afterwards I can transform into 24 stitches or whatever for 4 inches. But it's more a speedy process, and when doing the rest of them, I only need to do the yokes here to get wiser. I don't need the rest. What next? Well, I will start doing more of these for different sizes to get the right curve and see to that this works well. When looking at this, it will not be the final design. I will change the framing of sleeves and neck and hem in another way, I guess. And then I will start playing with the necklines, because we will get into it. I'm getting ahead of myself, but when you make the raglan and you start knitting it top down, it looks like a square. And when you have the neckline, you would like it rounded in some way, boat-like or deep or whatever. So we have to do some corrections before we start doing the neckline. Adding some fabric here in the corners. And we do this by short rows here. Before the typical, I'm not talking short rows of raising the neck. I'm talking short rows to do corrections of the fabric, because we start with a raglan. But oh, it's so fun and so challenging, and I will share. So I think this is all for now with the compound raglan, and we will meet up when I have made a bit more and I can give you the technicalities as well, and we will do the nerdy stuff together. So let's move on to the prize announcements. And now for the announcement of the winners of the Lacy Cable Tee KAL. But before we do so, let's have a look at all the lovely tees that came out of this KAL. So you see them here beside me. And I cannot tell you how much fun it was to me to get connected with you knitters and learn about your input for the design and the experience sharing and chatting. It has been great. So it's definitely not my last KAL here, but I will announce this in an upcoming episode, what will be going on for the winter KAL. But let's also resume here on the prizes. The first prize are these lovely socks made by Jytte Pallisgaard, a Danish designer. She calls the design Forresten, which means leftover. So what she meant by this design is to make a lovely colorwork sock made out of your leftover yarn. However, by this kit, you get enough yarn for 2 pairs of socks of this lovely Lamana wool here in this colorway here. The pattern is in Danish, but let's see, Google is our best friend, and there is also a very nice chart here to follow. And the winner is Beginner Crafter or Melizbeth 1985, depending on depending on the social media. So congratulations, Melizbeth. Well deserved. I hope you find joy in making these socks. The next prize is this lovely shawl coming from Magiske Garner. It's designed by a Danish designer called Dorte Juel Sørensen. And you see on this photo here, the shawl is made in beige and blue shades, but in this kit it'll be a green version with a lot of cones here to do the shawl. And the winner is, it is done, Todd. Congratulations on your win here, on your prize. Very well deserved. And I hope you find joy in making this shawl. I would think it is a bit complicated, but maybe it's because I haven't done shawls before. There are nice charts here. Also, this one is made in Danish. But again, we hope Google is our best friend. Thanks again, Donna, for participating and joining, and all of your lovely input. And I hope you have fun making this shawl. The next prize is joining me on a masterclass here on one of my designs. You can choose either the male or the female, the cardigan or the sweater of the form and fit design. So let's hear who the winners are. It is Sastrogi 7, Sharp 8268, Mai Midet, and Dorte Madmor. Thank you so much for joining the KAL. It's been a pleasure meeting you here, and now we have the opportunity to meet again. And now for the final prize. It is this lovely functional necklace made by Anna Silfa. She is an Icelandic jewelry designer, and she has made more functional pieces for us knitters. She calls this design line for My Pearl by Silfa, and you see the bags over here. I have thought a lot about, should I unbox it here for everyone to see this lovely 18 karat gold necklace, or would this spoil the pleasure of the winner to be announced in the second? But I think the winner, O. Henry 280, would also appreciate everyone to see this lovely piece. So congratulations, O. Henry, with your prize, so well deserved. Thank you for your input in this, KAL. It's been a blast. And let's have a look at the jewelry. First of all, you get the jewelry in this very nice leather bag, which has a nice inner coating and telling My Pearl by Silfa. And then when I pick up the small bag, you see here, thank you. Thank you for purchasing the product. Thank you for the KAL, O. Henry here. And you see here, there's an extra ring here being, it could be a stitch marker, it could be an earring, just like mine. And inside here we find the necklace. So I will just try to very softly unwrap this so we can see the necklace. And I will try to close it neatly for you to open. Oh, Henry, let's see. I'm very careful, very careful. So, very nice silk paper here. Let's see it unfolding. And I put it on my lap to better see. Sorry for the crinkling. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What do you say? It is so sparkly, very nice. And all of these holes are gauges for your interchangeable needles. Yeah, any needle you like. And you will see here, it is, you can see the needle size both in European millimeter and US sizes. So nice. So nice. Lovely. I cannot live without mine now, so maybe you will start feeling the same way, O. Henry. So you see here also a pearl, could be a stitch marker or earring. There are more of those. Yes, so I will neatly wrap it again and ship this for you. So now that we talk about shipment, so how will you get your prize? Well, two ways. I think the most safe way is for you to send me an email with your name and address, and I can ship your prize. If I send you an email, maybe it could be mistaken for a phishing email and or the like, and we wouldn't like that, would we? And I can also send you a message on Ravelry. That would be quite safe to let you know that you have won a prize. So let's meet either on mail or Ravelry. Let's go back to Anna's jewelry and see, I got yet another bag because I got some surprise because Anna chose to give me with one as well. She thought I deserved a prize. So I have been waiting to unbox this until this moment with the other prizes for you to see as well. So let me open this lovely leather bag and take out the nice silk paper here. Stated Silfa. Let's see what it is. Wow. Let's see. Oh dear, oh dear. Wow. Look, can you guess what it is? It's kind of a ruler. When you knit, it is exactly 5 centimeters long, 2.5 inches. And look, 18 karat gold with zirconia. Oh, thank you, Anna. I'm very spoiled here. Yet another necklace for me to wear. And yeah, well, if you didn't know it, you wouldn't think that this is a functional knitting piece, would you? So thank you very much. I really enjoy the craft you are doing, Anna, and it was such a joy meeting you at the Fanø Festival. Yeah, it's some time ago now. You can actually meet Anna in one of my episodes. I will link it below when I met her and was introduced to her lovely jewelry. So yes, that was all about prizes and KAL for now. But I am definitely not done doing KALs. So I will host a winter KAL this winter, and I can say so much as it will be a felted product. So more about that in an upcoming episode. This was all for now in this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and would like to come back to hear more about my designer process making the compound raglan construction, or perhaps you would like to go back to former episodes and see how I moved forward to the release now of the European shoulder design with a fitted sleeve. Either way, I would be very happy for your help and input on my new pattern concept, on what would be the best way to get the design out to more knitters. So any experience or input ideas for me, please leave a comment below, send me an email or chat on Instagram, whatever you prefer. I would be very happy. And well, if you like my designs in general, my episodes, my yarn reviews and my in-depth talks about techniques and construction, then your help on Ko-fi or PayPal me would also be very helpful for me to continue get the stitches and designs flowing. So yeah, thank you, and I hope you have a nice knitting day, or a day in general, of course. So until the next episode, Raglan over from Inge's Knitting Lab. Color me happy. Bye bye.